Hey future kids, hope you're having fun seeing our episode.
You know what's funny? That's something like there. You see it in Germany. We say black on white, schwarz auf weiß. You see it.
Your father, who speaks many languages.
You see it that you can talk into the future. You know, for us right now, it's just a physical device through which.
Sorry for these noises.
Your body makes noise. No. You see that through this physical device here, we can talk into the future, because one day in the future we can watch this video and we are listening to what we are saying right now, but we are also like listening to this, we are feeling this energy in that moment, you know, if it's in 10, 20, 30 years, whatever. So it's possible to talk to the future.
Yes, it's really metaphysical.
That form is just gonna evolve also.
Internet?
So, not internet, I just mean like technological evolution.
Technology.
And one day, I'm 100% sure you will be able like to bend time, you know. What different...
It's such a historical moment sitting here talking about the future.
What different methods, or not methods, what different doors you're automatically opening through becoming that intelligent as a species, we don't know. But
heftige selection.
Thanks. But I just think that evolution of everything is so crazy. So yesterday I was reading this book about movies and film editing and stuff. And I was reading like one of the first movies, and I wanted to watch that on YouTube. I showed it to you.
One of the first movies ever.
Like, and I watched it. It was from George Michel or something, and it's called A Trip to the Moon. And it's such a funny ass movie because it's so old, you know. Like everything they used to describe this vision that they're having was so old school, you know. It was like...
It was so primitive.
It was very primitive, but that's how you start, you know. And look where we are right now.
Yes.
Look at how filmmaking, movie making, whatever, like look how it evolved. And now think that into 500 years to the future, 10,000 years into the future, like what will be possible, you know, we can't even imagine. But I just know that once, or not just once, but that's why I said, like, one day we will be able as a human species, or maybe not a human species, but some species will be able to bend time. And that's how we are communicating with spirits, you know, because we are communicating through time. It's a cycle. It's going to be us in 1,000 years that are going to be able to talk to us in this moment. You know? Same as we are talking into this device, and when our kids will watch this, we will be talking to them from 2024.
This is like fossils.
Yes, just a different form of it, you know, and it's going to evolve and change. And now maybe our kids are already listening to it. They are. And then because that time already exists, you know, that's why I'm saying like everything is infinite and everything is already happening, you know, because time is connected. But
that's crazy, because this also goes to show that you choose your reality.
Yes.
You choose the timeline.
100%.
You pick it. You believe
100%.
it.
And that's why I say I think that for some people it's hard to realize with their mind, but I'm always saying everything's already happening and everything already happened.
That's so hard to understand.
But at the same time, you still choose which path you're going to take. There are infinite paths and you're going to choose, but
like
every version of you, every version of you is simultaneously choosing something different, you know? Because it has to happen. Everything happened.
I see that.
So
you also exist in another timeline doing way worse and also doing way better.
I'm always like...
Butterfly effect. We talked about it.
It's like this duality between being free and being a slave, you know? You're always both at the same time, because on the one side,
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? On the one side, you're like, I can choose whatever I want to, but sometimes I'm always thinking like, I have always had this thought that we are switching, like, not only in the spiritual realm, but also in the physical realm, that my body one day wakes up in another timeline, because I'm timeline hopping, you know? I'm hopping between this timeline and then I'm hopping to this timeline. So on the physical, you could say that your body switches into another timeline, but it's just with your spirit body, you know?
The physical stays the same through daily
Yes.
life.
Yes. But
like
also, I think also through moments like this right now, like it just, every time you choose something, you're switching into another timeline.
But not physically.
Not physically, but you could explain it, because when my spirit switches from Kossi A1 to Kossi A2, the Kossi A2 is a different physical spirit, a physical body.
Ah, you can also choose like the physical state. You can choose your physical state when you age, or what do you mean?
It's hard to explain.
Yeah,
I just think that
that's a very rare situation that I don't understand.
Our spirits. That's so nice. I think that's cool. Like to just experience stuff. You know, because for me then it's a challenge to explain myself better. You know. Because if I explain something and somebody don't understand it, that means I don't understand what I'm saying. Either way, it don't make sense, or I don't understand it yet enough to explain to somebody, you know?
Yeah, just so eager to learn. You're so inspiring.
Oh, it's very hard in here, but yeah. Okay, let me try again and try it more simple.
Yeah, like your head is already fuming, I guess.
I just think that when we are making decisions, our spirit is moving between timelines. And if you could say that in every timeline there's an empty vessel.
Yeah, your body.
Our spirit is switching to that vessel and experience that. But it's like every vessel has their own spirit right now. And every vessel switches between, because they're all connected, you know, we are all one anyways.
So you experience different lives with your spirit?
Kind of.
How do you do that? Like, how can I imagine that?
As soon as you have an upgrade, a download, the world completely changes.
And your physical body as well? I understand you're talking about quantum jumping with your spirit.
Timeline hopping is...
quantum jumping equals timeline hopping.
Yeah, timeline hopping is... The body cannot do it.
Exactly, that's why I'm not quite understanding what you're saying.
But because you are able to do it with your spirit, that means that body has to exist somewhere else. Because our physical bodies can only exist in this physical dimension.
Yes.
And if there are many timelines, there also have to be many physical dimensions.
Yes. You look different when you take different choices in your life.
Yeah.
There's a timeline where I'm obese.
Yeah. And that obese physical version of you has to exist somewhere.
Mm-hmm. You think it's on this earth too?
No, that's what I'm saying. It exists in another dimension, another universe, whatever. It's not physical for us able to touch it.
Mm-hmm. It's not in a third dimension.
But it's able for us with our spirit to
tap into it. With our spirit body to tap into the...
Yes. But the physical exists. It's just somewhere else. We are not able to... We can't get access to it.
Not physically.
Not physically. But this physical version exists somewhere else. And they all exist somewhere. And in every physical version, there is the spirit from us. Mm-hmm. And that spirit is like, if you take example of two versions, this spirit...
You switch into your...
Switch here, and that one switches there.
Self that's doing better than you right now.
Yeah, or worse, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just two, it's infinite.
Mm-hmm. Because I also find myself timeline jumping into past versions of myself, and then I'm depressed. Because I'm like, this doesn't add up. You know, I'm already much further, but like I relapse into whatever addiction I try to lay off. And I'm like, I get so depressed because I'm like, this was all for nothing. I'm back. And then I'm just switching into, like, I'm skipping the past and I'm going to even further. I'm like, oof, let me skip this far. Let me make a big jump now. I don't want to be here. I want to go to another timeline. If you get what I'm saying. But I need to take a break also mentally. This was very...
Break!
That was really the goddess retreat that I live until this day. Thank you. No wonder when my friends come, they say, oh my God, I feel like I'm at a retreat. Yeah, because we're treating each other very good. It's a retreat. You get reminded how you're supposed to be treated here. Anyways, we took a little break. I'm back with the glasses because it's late at night. You know, my circadian rhythm is not used to this ring light. With my sensitive eyes. So is there anything else you want to share from our trip to Kabak? You look really cool.
Thanks. Yeah. Let me share a story how the universe works in mysterious ways. So it was the day that we should have. What's die Vergangenheitsform von fliegen? Right?
Flew.
Flew. So it was the day that we were supposed to flew to Kabak.
I think in that case, it's even flown. We were supposed to be flown. Ich weiß nicht. We were supposed to be flying. Yeah.
So it was the day we were supposed to be flying to Dalaman, Turkey.
Turkey.
And it's so funny because
it's so funny.
Spiritual connection is just real, you know. And on that day, everything went perfect. And it went so perfect, I knew something was off because the day we fly into vacation...
It's a bit hectic. Mentally.
It doesn't feel like that day... It doesn't feel like that there was feeling.
It was just so chill, so calm, so relaxed. Like, not a feeling of vacation. We were like very impressed. We were like, wow, we've never been this relaxed before going on a vacation. Everything is so smooth. What's going on? It's like when it's very windy and all of a sudden the wind stops, you're like...
it's a bit
too quiet.
It's too chilly here. Like, and that's a funny thing because it wasn't like anxiety or something negative, but it just was this kind of excitement that was missing. And for me personally,
a positive excitement.
Yeah, positive being positive like aroused, stress. You know, like to be like, let's keep pushing. It's about to happen.
Yes, adventure time.
So on that exact day, I woke up, I did my stuff. I even went to the Bürgeramt and did a test for my new job and stuff. Like I came home.
I'm like, you doing this and then flying to another country.
I cleaned the bathroom. Like I did a lot of stuff, you know, before flying. But everything went too well. I'm like, it's 2:00. I'm already finished. The flight is in 6 hours. Something's wrong
That
here.
only happens when you know you're not taking a flight that day.
And then it was literally 2:00 or 3:00. I just randomly checked my mails like I always do. And then we got a message and it was like, sorry, your flight has been delayed to, we had to suppose fly on the Thursday to Friday, 5 p.m. I was like
a whole day.
I was like, today's not Friday. I'm like, today's Thursday. So what is happening here? Did they misspell or something? So yeah, the flight was delayed for 1 day. And it was so random. We were outside, just walked through the door and be like, okay, let's get some snacks and then let's go.
Yeah.
And then it was like,
we were so close. We were so close to heading off. And then we get the message, we're not going. And I was like mad. Like I really let the madness flow through me. Like I stomped on the floor. I was like, what is this? I was supposed to go.
Yeah, I was just like, that just showed me that my feeling was right because I subconsciously, intuitively, I knew that something was up. So I knew that we were not supposed to be flying or we were not going to fly. So when that message came, I was like, I kind of knew it. I had this feeling, but
it felt familiar.
I couldn't process it mentally. And then I realized it mentally.
Same.
And then
I had the same experience after I let the madness flow through me. I was like, let's keep it pushing. Just stay at home 1 day for whatever reason. I trust God. Thank you for whatever you're doing here, which we found out later what God did.
It is what it is. So I didn't even know. It was in that moment even I realized like, they cannot just delay our flight and don't pay us anything, because normally when you delay a flight like for 1 hour or 2 hours, like nobody cares. But we were supposed to be flying at 9 p.m. and the flight was delayed to the next day, 7 p.m. So it was almost 24 hours. And then, I don't know, I downloaded, or Spirit gave me through the RAMs, I don't know. I just looked up like how can we get like a refund or something, and to just check, because it's not possible to just like, there was a hotel we booked.
They need to take accountability for this mistake.
So I knew that something was possible, but I didn't know what was possible exactly. And then I looked it up, and then I found like this message or whatever that it's possible to get a refund for a couple of €100.
More than the flight itself.
Yeah, our flight, it cost like, I think, €190 per person paid. And when the flight is delayed for a minimum amount of hours and distance, like 1,500 kilometers and stuff, then you can get a refund for €400 per person. So
thanks for the money. We needed that.
Yeah, we really need that. And it's so funny because that's what we were talking about before, like always about duality and the positive and negative and stuff. So
it was such a positive experience.
That was a negative experience that was turned into a positive experience.
Yes.
But only through keeping the
positive
doors open,
Yeah, also the positive approach towards everything.
I know from the, let's say, 100 people or 200 people on a plane, I knew for 100,000% there are 70% they're just still mad and not trying to figure out like what they can get out of it, They focus too much on the negative, They'd be like, oh, fuck this Sun Express, like I missed 1 day vacation.
Damn, the energy
blah, blah.
was so off the next day with those people.
Because the next day when we flew, we was chilling. We were like, yeah, okay, we're gonna get €400 refund. Like if they were gonna delay, still they pay us, so I don't care.
Also, the vacation was perfect time in the end. It was not like we lost a day or anything, not at all. I don't even remember. I just remember I got a fund from God for the vacation. Thank you.
And that's what I'm just trying to show you, because there's, in every situation, there's the positive and the negative. And they both exist simultaneously, but you can always choose what you make out of it, You can be like, okay, I get €400 refund, or I'll be like, fuck, my flight got delayed, I hate this life, blah, blah, one day less vacation. Like, so many people were so mad And now we come to the next situation, because when we was at the airport, there was this random ass situation where
Wow, guys, what we share now, I never experienced anything like this, and until this day, it kind of feels like a conspiracy theory. So even though I experienced it myself, it was so surreal. So if anyone listening to this has information on this, please send it forward to me, because I'm really curious. So the next day we arrived at the airport. We're like, okay, we couldn't go to the vacation last night, so we're going today. Everything is fine. We were packed up, chilling, really had one more day also to mentally prepare and settle into the vacation spirit, and it was really positive. But the next day we arrive, standing in line, we can already tell the tension is definitely there. People are calling with their travel agencies, which we were very lucky. We didn't use a travel agency, so we could reach them directly for a refund. Which is why we could reach the airline directly without a travel agency, which is also added stress. Anyway, everyone was very stressed out, trying to figure out how to navigate the situation. In front of us is someone who's like, there is a strike in Turkey. I don't even know if we're getting on a plane or what is going to happen. There's a lot of chaos going on. Then other people are coming to us. They're saying, I'm sorry, but on this plane is going to be 2 women who are about to be deported over Turkey to Iran, and they're probably facing slavery. Oh no, and they are probably facing
death penalty, torture, something like that.
And they are probably facing death penalty or torture. And I'm like, excuse you? Like, can you elaborate, please? Because those people, they really teamed up. It was several people, like, walking through the lines of people and talking to each one of them and telling them, can you please protest for this plane not to board? Because we need to stop the deportation of these 2 women. Everyone's like, wait, what's going on? Because I don't know, my flight is already delayed 1 day. Who are those people? And we never found out who those people were. They told us, if we get up during boarding time, if we all don't sit down, the plane is not gonna board for safety reasons. So we're like, okay, thanks for the information. And really wondering, like, who are the people? Nobody saw these women. They didn't refer to the woman. They didn't tell us anything about the woman. We're like,
what I'm thinking about still is, because there was this one guy, like, when you at the airport, at least in Berlin, when you go into the airport, you are able to be at the area where you can buy stuff and look and give out your luggage before you have to be controlled. Because, for example, in Dalaman, to get to the airport, you have to be already controlled. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to be controlled again when you are given your luggage, mm-hmm. and then you're going to be controlled again to go to the gates. Mm-hmm. And some people even there still get controlled. Like we saw at the flight to Manchester.
There is just several steps control.
Yes, but in Berlin it's not like that. But in Berlin you have to be controlled to...
You have to get control?
You have to be... Before you can access the part where the gates are, you have to show your ticket.
In Berlin?
In Berlin. It's like one ticket control and then security control. Mm-hmm. And for me, I was always thinking, like, how did this guy manage to...
He got past ticket and safety control.
Yeah.
There were those people in line who just easily got to the gates to us because there was no control to that
Not the
part.
gates, like where we give out our luggage. There you have access without any ticket.
Yes. They got there without control.
And they even had a camera team. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was just a lot going on, a lot of people, and not enough information about what they're doing. And there was this one guy who got past the ticket and security control, and he still kept talking to people and tried to convince everyone to stand up. So we're at this point. Our flight is delayed as well.
Yeah, like again delayed.
Yeah.
Like we should have take off at 5 p.m. and I think it was already 5:30 p.m. or something.
It was 6 almost. So we're like, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. And I was very curious to see how this whole situation will play out. But it turns out we never found out who those women were. We could never figure it out. Nobody stood up in the plane.
Because they were not in the plane.
Yeah, I think so. So
if they would have been on the plane, we would have realized it. Because
yes,
that's what I'm thinking. You know, if you're gonna deport somebody, if this matrix state like decides that they're gonna deport 2 women, whatever, I'm thinking. For me personally, I'm thinking why would you deport them through a public plane to Dalaman?
And also, like, they're not gonna be undercover.
Yeah, like why should they be undercover? Like they have to. I think so. They have to be protected. They got to be police and stuff. Like whatever. You will see that there's someone on this plane that and there's something happening that would just not be like random people because they can just run away. You know, if you try to deport someone. That's what I think. So. For me personally, I haven't seen anyone on this plane that looked like they're about to get deported. Because also, if you're gonna be deported,
everyone.
If you're going to be deported to a country where you face torture and
I see that in your face.
You will not be like chilling. Like, one water, please, and take one Snickers, please.
I'm like
you will sense that in that energy. That's what I'm saying, and I didn't sense any energy like this on this plane. So in case I missed it, it may be possible that there was somebody on the plane that is being deported, but I haven't seen anyone. That's what I can tell you that resonated with that energy. That's why I'm just thinking like that was random as fuck, and nobody knows like what happens. But for me, it's just was such a lesson to learn because I'm always working on giving up this people pleaser mentality, you know, because when
he was ready to people please those people, I was like,
when that guy came to Lizzie, she was like, "You're the guy." She's like, he just turned and was like, "I'm not gonna talk to this guy." I was listening to him. I was asking him questions and stuff.
No.
But the guy in front of us, he was so mad.
Yeah, it really triggered very different reactions into people. To me, it was just instant protection from this guy's energy. I felt so assaulted by these people energetically. So I'm like, if you really want to fulfill this purpose you're trying to fulfill, you're saying, why is there no handout? Like, give me the information, show me something. Please don't talk to my ear without consent like this. Give me some information, then we can talk. But like, the approach was so off. Like, if you're really trying to do something like this, like be professional about it. Like, this is not something you just play with and like go around like ask people like, where's the hustle? Like, where's the team? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for me
something doesn't add up.
Yeah, and for me, I was the whole time trying to figure out what it is, but most of the people just didn't care because they was like that's how we came back to the point, because the people were so mad there because they focused too much on the negativity, you know?
They thought there's gonna delay again their plane.
Yeah, not only about that, I also think that they focus on negativity in terms of choosing the refund or choosing like the negativity that the flight got delayed and I lost 1 day of holiday and vacation. That's what some people said, you know. Some people were, the guy talked to them and the people were like, yeah, but I already lost 1 day of vacation. Like, I'm not going to stand up and lose another day. Like, they was completely in their victim role, you know. And if I'm 100% sure, those people who tried to make the best out of the situation and realized that they could get a refund for 400 euros and stuff, they were chilled because, or they were more appreciative of that situation, you know? So, yeah, I was just trying to say, like, in every situation, there are two sides. But those who were already mad because their flight got delayed and they didn't realize that they had to refund, and then you ask them in their victim role to give something of yourself to someone else, you're like, fuck you, man. Why should I give up another.
So I was more on the victim role on the spectrum, probably.
You?
Yeah, with my reaction.
No, it doesn't. It's not about if you say yes or no. It's about your energy, and the energy of some was like, I already lost something. I'm not gonna
lose
because you're in lack. You know, you're not
like
in abundance.
already resenting of this possibility. You're resenting the situation.
Yes. So if you
just anger. It's like when you're angry, your heart is closed because this is a protection.
Yeah.
Your anger is not supposed to like bleed into your heart. So your heart is like, oof.
So I knew that if that situation was even real, those guys choose the wrong day to ask random people to give up the possibility of. For me, it also was like, if someone really gave me a handwritten proof, or how do you say, like if someone really gave me a proof that I could save a life with not going to that destination, I would have said yes. Yes, that's what I think. But
where was the proof? Where was the handout? Where was the handout?
There was just some guys talking.
Some people saying.
I never saw a picture. I never saw anything. Like,
who are those people?
I don't know these people, and just for my mind, I was like calculating.
Are these people real? Are they in the room with us?
For me, it was like MTV prank or whatever. I don't know.
Like a social test?
Yeah.
I thought it was scamming. I thought this is some type of scamming.
I thought it was like a test or something, because they did have a camera team, you know. They documented this or whatever, and then they're gonna be like, yeah, today we tested in Berlin. It's gonna be from RTL or something. I don't know. Today we tested in Berlin.
I hope they recorded me.
How compassionate people in Germany are and whatever.
There's no handout. Talk to the hand.
Yeah. And last but not least, on our way home, it was kind of exhausted for her because like the bus ride and stuff, it's very hot. It was like 38 degrees and stuff, but we managed to get home like safely. Everything went smooth. The flight even went super smooth. Like we get to the airport on time. We was chilling. We was eating some gözleme and some vegan bagels and some bird eggs and stuff. Like we was chilling, and we got home safe. But at home
we had a whole row for ourselves too.
At home we were like really exhausted. But then the next day we found out that there was like a complete
global technology
shutdown, whatever, like airplanes are not flying, like security
in the whole world.
Like there was like some
just one day later,
some movie shit, like not like iRobot, but some movie shit that was almost happening. But for us it was like, wow, we really are protected, I guess.
Like we really dodged the situation.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people in that situation. Yeah. Especially like the big players. They suffered the most because for them so much was dependent on their technology. We were like, yeah, our YouTube subscribers, they won't even notice we've been away. Or did you guys? Did you notice that we've been away? Because I really missed recording the podcast and I love to be back. Get ready for my solo episodes.
But yeah, that's I think, maybe not most significant, but these were some 3 significant things I had to say about our vacation. Like, yeah, everything in between was also amazing, but there was just some wisdom for the people, you know, to understand that you can choose and just quantum jump.
Whatever situation you're in, you're still choosing your outcome. Powerful. Gib 5. 1 year into this podcast.
Yes, today ±5.
Yeah. ±5.
We still don't know. We're going to look it up, but it's almost like this time where we recorded our first episode. And that's how we start season 2.
you're back with us. Thank you for rocking with us. Thanks for hearing us, and thank you for resonating with us. Bless the chosen ones. Bless the ones who choose themselves in this lifetime.
Yes.
And bless everyone else, because we're in this together and we gotta be. Even the negative people, even the scammers and the liars and the whoever.
You know what's funny? I think you didn't realize today.
What?
When we were outside yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday or the day before yesterday. No, I think it was yesterday. The day before yesterday was Sunday, no? Yes, yesterday was Monday. We were outside and there was a fat guy who bumped into LISSY on the street. And
oh, that was like an angry guy. He was like, I'm chunky, I'm not going. I'm chunky. He was like, I'm chunky, I'm not moving directions for nobody.
so there was this fat guy, like, he was really massive.
Yeah, like he was dense, like also with his energy, he was like, I'm not moving for nobody.
He was like a small black hole. And he was like a small energy. He was like a small, high energy soaking black hole.
I was so confused when you said he was like a small black hole. I was thinking, like, what does that mean?
Black hole is like very dense energy.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
It's
I'm not a
dense.
physician, so I don't know.
Black hole is a sun. So a sun, that's the thing. Everything dies one day. Even our suns die one day. So dependent on the mass of the sun, they can either turn into white dwarfs or red dwarfs. Like the sun is.
What are dwarfs?
The sun is burning fuel all the time. That's how we receive the energy. It's turning Wasserstoff. What's Wasserstoff in German? In English? Hydrogen. It's turning hydrogen into helium, I think. So it's fueling these chemicals, and that's how it's creating its energy. I can go really deep right now, but I'm trying not to. And so it's burning its energy, it's burning its fuel, and once the fuel runs out, the sun dies.
Okay.
So depending on how big the sun is, after the death of the star, it either explodes or it implodes.
And that is a black hole?
If the matter of the sun is so big that the core, because the core explodes, the core gets bigger and bigger, and then it shrinks because the matter is just so dense. Like, I'm not a physician, I cannot explain it properly, but that's how it almost works, you know? So depending on how heavy the mass of the sun is, it will turn, after the death, it will turn into white dwarfs. There are red dwarfs, like...
It explodes, you mean? It's a dwarf?
It explodes, yes.
And it's a dwarf?
Yeah, then it's a dwarf.
Or it implodes and it's a black hole.
If it like, you can calculate it with physics and numbers and stuff, if a point is reached where the mass of the sun is heavier than this point, then the core of the sun is not able to stabilize its own weight. So it collapses because it's too heavy.
Like this information in my brain right now.
And then that's how black holes are being born.
Okay.
And black holes, they are so heavy that they soak in everything. They even soak in light. That's how heavy they are.
I think it's also such a beautiful spiritual meaning that when it implodes or like it dies and it either like makes more light, like it grows even bigger, or like it takes everything. Death implodes. And for death, duality.
And the thing is, a black hole, it's so heavy.
It takes everything with it.
Because we like... Einstein said we live in a time-space continuum. So this time-space continuum, it gets banded. And that's what gravity is. The heavier it is, the more it gets banded. And when it's so heavy, it's like it's cracking this dimension.
It falls through.
Yes, that's a black hole. So nobody knows what happens there because it's singularity. It's a single point. It's a really tiny single point with the mass of like
everything.
So that's actually impossible. But some people
like
that's
when you burn plastic, it implodes. It shrinks.
Yeah.
And then it still exists.
Yeah.
It's not dead. It's just tinier. That's how I imagine an implosion is, wenn sich was zusammenzieht.
Yes.
When it shrinks.
Yes.
And with shrinking, it gets tinier and it pulls more with it.
Yes, it gets denser. And if it's so dense that it even breaks the space-time continuum, it cracks a hole into it or whatever.
It makes sense to me. I understand.
Nobody knows like what's happened in the black hole. That's the mystery of life almost, you know. But for me, it's obvious that it has to come out at another point because we live in a universal law of duality. If something goes in, it has to come out.
I understand. You know? I was just thinking, I want these earrings so bad. I was just thinking about them. I imagine myself with them. I imagine these earrings are the earrings I want to buy. I'm like, I need those earrings.
Yeah, you will get them if they want to get you.
Yes, I think I'm going to buy them tomorrow.
So for me, some people say like it was the Big Bang, but because I just think that a Big Bang was before just a black hole and just spits everything out, and that's happening infinite times throughout everything, you know. When you create a new universe, there's new black holes in it, and they create more universe, and it goes infinite in and infinite out. Like that's just the way of life. For me, 1 + 1 is 2. That's just how I see things. So this guy was a small black hole because he was soaking. He was attracting all the.
Yeah.
He was soaking the energy out of you. And that's what we call energy vampires, you know?
Yes.
Yes. So that's
he attacked me literally.
He even attacked me, like I was always chill, but I was like
okay, I see you.
I had to scream at him, man. Like I never scream at anyone, you know. This was so funny for me to observe because I was after the situation, I was like, funny man, life is really funny, you know. That you never learn, you always learn something about you. And
it was so unprovoked, unprepared.
It was just
raw dog the situation.
It was a random day. We was just shopping groceries and we was heading to another place to get some nice nuts. And
I was so happy to go into the store. Almost in front of the store, almost there, this situation happens.
For me, it's so obvious that some things just have to happen, you know, because at that moment I had both hands full. I was carrying stuff. I had a backpack on me. So if I had my hands empty, I could have
occupied.
Walked with you like this and protect you even more a bit, but my hands were occupied. Mm-hmm. And his energy also felt that, you know, because
you was far.
Yeah, I was like on the left side of you, so I couldn't do anything, and that just shows that it has to happen in that moment. He came from the right, yes, and yeah, he just bumped into her with his stomach.
He bumped into me with his whole body.
No, but he was like like this.
Bro, I was so...
And it was so random at that moment. It
caught me so off guard. Like, why are you walking into me, like, bumping?
Like,
I was like, literally like, bro.
And it was not... That's the thing. It was not like there was only this gap, you know, because he could have easily walked left by her. There was so much space. So
why
it was obviously...
Why is he walking around bumping into strangers with anger?
It was so random. And that just shows that we couldn't have done anything in that situation, you know? But yeah, at that moment, Lizzie automatically said something. I also said something, and he just get into his victim role. He was like, "No,
he was trying to argue. He was
now you want to tell me where I should walk or what?" I was like, "Okay, I don't add my.
God will show you.
My energy is too high for this, you know." But on the other side, my ego was like,
my ego after that was like,
I should have said this and then give him this and then like.
I would have told this motherfucker.
Still till this day, I'm like, dreaming
if
literally.
I would have told him that.
I was randomly brushing my teeth. I was like, yes.
This would have shown him.
That was
I would have ended him.
The ego is so funny, man. But we all have it. That's the funny thing. But so this guy bumped into her. We get out of the situation, like nothing serious happened, but it was still like a situation. And
we're like in the nut store, breathing through it all.
Yeah, the first thing I was when I was in the nut store, I breathed to my stomach, like.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to say is, I don't know if you realized, because today we saw him again.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, I know that you didn't realize. It was.
I'm living my best life in these streets. He is so provoked by me because he knows the way I walk these streets is provoking him. Because I'm living my best life in these streets and he doesn't, man.
No, the thing about him is, that's a
Where did we see him?
I tell you everything. That's the thing about him is, that's a person who is so deep in his victim role, and you only get this deep into victim role if something happened to you.
I don't even see him. He doesn't even exist in my reality. That's just legendary.
If something happened to you, so that's the thing. On the one side, you can either get into your victim role as well. That's what we done, for example, because in that moment we was like, yo, somebody's attacking me.
Yeah, I was obviously a victim.
Yes. But in reflect, I was thinking like, because when you're in victim role,
I should have been a warrior instead.
When you're in victim role, you also get into, you take everything personally. You know?
You're easily attacked.
And also for me, for example, I was thinking like, maybe I have to get more muscles to protect Lizzie and stuff. Like my ego was talking a lot of my head, you know. But that's the thing. Either you take it seriously, or you be like, keep talking, ego, like, you know. Because some people still are gonna be mad at this point for something that happened like way back. That's how the ego works.
And their ego is their motivation.
Yes, and it's really just about if you believe in your ego or not. So for me, I was listening to my ego. I was listening to stories that it was telling, but I didn't believe everything it was saying. But the thing, what I was trying to say is, today I saw him Today I was like also thinking, if you're gonna see him again, maybe I'm gonna say something and blah blah. Or...
That's so funny. I forgot about his ass.
So when we walk straight out of the door, we cross the street. The first thing I do is I see him walking across. It was in front of this ice store here.
No way.
Like this Turkish store. I think he went to Turkish store. So that's if you remember, because I was walking on the right side of you, and you on the left side. And then I saw him, and then I switched directly. I switched into the left side of you. I don't know if you remember the situation.
I remember, and I didn't think much of it. I just thought you had your reasons, and it really shows how deeply I trust your protection.
Yeah, but then I was already trying to prepare myself if something gonna happen again or whatever. But then I looked into his eyes.
Oh.
And his eyes looked so damaged, man. It was like such a damaged soul, and I was like, wow. Like in that situation when we saw him, we both didn't saw his eyes, you know, because we were also in our victim role.
We just saw the opponent.
Yeah, but when I saw him today, I was like, yo, this guy, this motherfucker is like,
bless his soul.
Yeah, his soul is like really going through a lot of stuff. That's what I saw.
Yeah, it must be like that. If he is that way.
Because then I remembered again. Because
you remember empathy.
Yeah, because when I saw his eyes, I realized like no normal person would bump into you like this. Nobody does this, you know. Yeah. Some people may provoke somebody if a situation happens, whatever, but not just on the random. Like the way that happened, no normal people would do this. So. You know, that's why I'm saying, in order to be at this victim role that you see every stranger on the street as a opponent attack to you, and you feel like you have to hurt somebody, like there was pain he was inflicting on you, like energetic and emotional
and also
pain,
physically,
you know? Also physical as well, very small but still also physical. Yeah. To be looking at life at that way, you really have to be at the lowest frequency, and that's what I saw in his eyes today. I was like, wow, this guy is really like. He's not mentally right, you know, because this soul is really damaged. That's what I saw. Now, then I was just like, yo, bless him, because what a
story.
He doesn't know what he does. He didn't saw us today. Even if he saw us, he wouldn't realize who we are. He's like living in complete. He's like living in his own world, and everybody's in his opponent. Because I told you after the situation happened in another store, and we walk to Eurogida, to the Turkish grocery store, I saw him in another Krimskramsladen, and he was there also talking with somebody with a bad energy, and I knew like his life is just walking from one bad energy to the next. Like he doesn't. It's not. It was never personal about us, you know. But we took it personally.
I was really projecting when I said I provoke him because he probably doesn't even remember me.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like that's how
I'm just a Leo.
That's how we take things personal, you know, because we believe it's about us, but it's never about us.
Yeah, that's
our life is only about us, and his life is about him. But he will think that we are the enemy, and we will think that he is the enemy. But yeah. That was just what I was trying to tell you, that we really saw him today again.
This story is so full of affirmation, which is just first of all the remembrance of empathy towards others, even if they hurt you, and how life is a balance between protection, boundaries, and also empathy and vulnerability. Because it's so vulnerable to look into someone's eyes whose eyes are broken. Us sitting here with the sunglasses. Our eyes are very pure, so we're trying to...
Yeah, the slide is really heavy.
Yeah.
I cannot chill like this like for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So this is a protection mechanism.
Yeah.
Don't take it personal though.
Yes, exactly. And also just the reminder of you see what you think about.
Exactly.
That was the case for you and also the case for me, because I didn't think about him at all. I didn't even see him. So this story is new for me. Thank you for telling me. I didn't realize at all. No, I don't even remember what he looks like.
I remember because I know him. I know him from the neighborhood. I see faces. I remember faces for life.
That's so crazy. This skill, this ability of his is so strong, especially in the city. He notices how strong the skill is. Of course, in the village, you remember everybody's faces. But to remember everybody's faces in the city, that's strong, because I don't remember half of the people.
It's so funny. Sometimes we just walk, and I'm just like, yo, what up? The guys, they're like, she's
he
like,
knows everybody.
Who's this? I was like, yeah, we saw him there, and I saw
But the thing is also, you befriend everybody you see.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't remember those people, but you know everybody. He knows the whole world. The whole world knows him. I'm really just a side character to everyone who knows him. Because they don't know me. I don't know them.
No, when I see a face, I remember the face. Sometimes I'll be thinking like for days, where did I know this face from? But I know that I know this face, you know. I will always know if I saw you once. I always forgot names and I forgot a lot of stuff. But that's the thing. You once said to me that you always remember the star signs of people.
Yeah, I also remember the names. Like if I remember a person, I also know their name. If there's a name attached to it, I remember you. But just the face, I don't know. For me, it's more like words I remember, not the faces. I remember dates, birthdays, and names, star signs.
For example, I see so many. I see this one guy who's working downstairs here, and a friend of Nick, who lived here in WG. That was his old flatmate. And I always see him, and I'm always thinking like, does he know who I am? Does he remember me? Because I remember him, I know him. I see him every day. But I think a lot of people don't remember faces.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have this perception you have. And I wonder how many more like you are out there who have seen me a lot of times and I have never seen them. A lot of people.
The friend from Aki, for example.
I never remember his name.
Yeah.
You talk to me about him, I'm like, who is this?
Yeah. And for me, it's funny. I'm always, when I talk about him, I'm like, yeah, that's the one guy you don't remember. And she's like, yeah, I remember that, I don't remember him. So she doesn't know who he is, but she knows who he is. Because it's just a mysterious person for her. And that's very funny to me.
The way you're exposing me is crazy.
Yeah, it's just this what it is. No, it's funny to me because...
It's funny to me too. We're talking so much, my lip gloss dried out.
Should we stop?
Yeah, I think it's time to go
All
to
right.
bed.
Peace, guys. See you next time.
Time to go to sleep. Guna.
Enjoy your life.
Hope you had fun.
I'm sure you had fun, but also try to integrate what we said. Maybe take a notebook and watch it again.
Honestly, live your life.
You really learned a lot today. You learned how to heal water. You learned how black holes are created. You learned how to quantum jump. You learned how to
make the best out of every situation.
Like you learned how you should react when strangers are fucking with you. Like you learned a lot of stuff. So yeah.
Bless you. If you tuned into this and listened to the whole thing, you're really an OG. Leave a comment if you did that. And I love you very much. You have my heart. We'll never be worlds apart.
Hey guys, I'm fasting right now for 3 days. I only ate grapes. And tomorrow I can eat again.
Till I come.
That's how the song goes.
Till I come. And then I skip the whole part and I go to. You need to dance with me. We're in the club right now. So that's a.